Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Lex here. I wanted to make a character, a single character, for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. This is not a tutorial, this is not a how-to or a review, this is just me trying to make a character for potentially a future campaign or a future one-shot. I make a lot of characters off camera, but there are times I will record for you guys to enjoy. Now, I don't play 2E that often. I am an amateur to this game specifically, but I know the basics. So I will create a character real time, and that's it. We're gonna make a character. I'm gonna probably make a warrior, fighter warrior, and we will go from there. I don't make characters quite often for 2E, but I'm intrigued to at least try to fill out every box I can, because there are some boxes here, like movement, that have a tendency to skip. So let's try to go step by step here. So creating a character is all the way over here on page 13 for the table of contents. So we have rolling ability scores. There are 6 scores you have to determine randomly by rolling a 6-sided die to obtain a score from 3 to 18. Method 1, roll 3d6 in order. Is your character's strength ability score? Repeat this for dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. This method gives you a range between 3 to 18. Most results need 9 to 12. So, method 2, method 3, method 4, so on and so forth. I typically roll the 3d6 method or the 4d6 method, depending on how the campaign is going to pan out. I typically like to give my solo player characters an edge up. So for this one, I will do 4d6 and remove the lowest roll. Okay? So let's begin, but however, I will roll down the list. So let's begin with strength. So I'll get my little tray here. I'll roll 46, take away the lowest roll, and 1 is the lowest roll, repeating. So we have 6, 11, 12 for strength. Okay. All right. All right. And then we'll do next the modifiers for that ability. So we landed on a 12. I zoomed to the camera just a bit. Let me get this a little compressed so you guys can see what I'm doing. So we're looking at 12 on the chart here. So hit probability would be normal. There's no damage adjustment. Weight allowed is a 45. 140 for the maximum press. 7 for doors open. 4% for bend bars, left gates. Okay. Now, we're going to do dexterity, which is on the same page. FYI, this is an actual original 2E character sheet. I had the booklet, record sheet booklet, for probably a few months now, and I've made one character, but like I said, I didn't use all the boxes, so I'm trying to do that now. Okay, let's roll dexterity. 12 is average for strength so far. 1 is lowest roll, so 9, 10, 11. We have 11 for dexterity, which gives us 0 across the board for those 3, for reaction adjustment, missile attack adjustment, and defensive adjustments. Okay, so now we have to jump to Constitution. All right. Now we will roll for Constitution, removing the lowest roll, which is the 1. We have 6, 10, 13 Constitution. That's decent. That's pretty good. Not the greatest, but good. Okay, so that gives us nothing more for hit point adjustment, which is a shame. But 85% for system shock, 90% for resurrection survival, which is great. 0, nothing for poison or regeneration. Okay. Next is intelligence, which is going to be on the next page here. Trying to share my view here with you guys compared to my other videos. All right, intelligence. 3 looks like 3 is the lowest. So we have not, okay, we have 9, 13. For intelligence is, this character so far, obvious by the bell curve, is average. It's above, slightly above average. 13. That gives us, let's see, 3 number of languages to know. 6 spell level. 55% chance to learn the spell. Max number of spell levels, 9. Spell immunity, nothing yet. Next is wisdom. Okay. So here, unusual. 1, not a pretty damn good roll actually. So 12. Okay. So 16 total. You have 2 6s and a 4. 16 for wisdom, which is fantastic. Wish that was in strength, but like I said, I'm going to roll down the list. This will give us a few extra perks, I imagine. +2 for magical defense adjustment. +2. Second for bonus level. And then spell fail nothing. I'm sorry. Spell fail nothing. So 0%. Actually, that's good, I believe. 8% chance of failure, then from level 1 down to 0. Nothing for spell immunity. Okay, last, and probably least to some, depending on your character, charisma. Okay. Let's see how we can do. If you want henchmen, this is definitely something you want to. Retainers, you definitely want something high on. 2 is our lowest roll. We'll remove that. Okay, so we have 10, 13. Again, this character is above that, slightly above average. Plus, besides the wisdom, that gives us 5 for maximum number of henchmen. Nothing plus for loyalty. +1 for reaction bonus. Okay. All right, now that's the easy. Now let's jump to choosing the character race. So I'm going to set the character sheet off just to the side for a bit. Probably won't use the dice for a while until we spend. So to choose a race, we have to figure out our requirements. And I'm thinking, based on our rolls, we can probably qualify for mostly everything. Ignoring the minimum for now until down here at the table, we can be, like I said, I want to be a brute warrior, fighter warrior. That gives us the requirements for dwarf, elf. I mean, we can be pretty much anything we want. So let's be a dwarf. I'm not a dwarf too often in my videos. So we will be a dwarf. Strength has to be 8 minimum, 18 max, which we can do. So race is going to be right here. I think dwarf gives us some advantage, racial adjustments. Okay, so up here it says racial ability adjustments. We have a +1 to Constitution. Now, I will actually adjust the score on this one. So 14. -1 of charisma, which is fine because we had. And then after those two adjustments, let's see what has changed. And we'll come back to that page soon. So 14 for Constitution. So 14 for Constitution's over here. That gives us a slight bump up in a couple things here. 88% for System Shock. And then 92% for... Sorry, I have a slight reflection that's hard to see at my angle, but that's it. So now we have to decrease potentially something in Charisma, which I will take a little quick gander here. Charisma, decrease to 12. Nothing has changed except for reaction bonus is back to nil. So we still keep the number of henchmen, but we did lose a slight advantage in reaction bonuses. Okay, that's our race. We chose dwarf. Dwarfs are short, stocky fellows, easily identified by their size and shape. Their average 4 to 4.5 feet, which we will now mark that. My height, our character height, will be 4 feet and 2 inches. They have ruddy cheeks, dark eyes, and dark hair. All right, so does that... Let's see, dark eyes, hair, dark hair, makes sense. So I'm thinking with brown, dark brown. They generally live up to 350 to 450 years. Okay, that's noted. I'm gonna put a little 375 here at the age, just to remind myself of the max. And let's see what else they get. Here is the saving throw bonuses. So for Constitution, the saving throw bonus looks like it's going to be plus 3 on the Constitution saving throw bonus. Now, this is the part that I will get stumped. I'm going to pause the video so I don't waste your time. Okay, so apparently it appears the saving throw bonus I can give our dwarf here is related to magical wands, stabs, rods, and spells. So we have a Constitution score of 14 now, which I can see is a little sloppy there. So that gives us a +4 within, I believe, all of those, if I'm not doing it wrong. And I apologize if I am. But, so magical wands is right here. That's a +4. A modifier, because it says saving throw bonus. This is not the save per se, it's the bonus. Something a bonus is a modifier. Saves, rods, spells. So that's what I'm looking at here. If I'm doing it wrong, if I'm doing it right, I'm either way enjoying this process. So +4, that's quite good. And then continuing on here, looks like they have a plethora of advantages too. We'll include that. Let's see. It says, I'm kind of skimming through the description here of dwarves. It says that in melee, dwarves add +1 to their dice rolls to hit orcs, half-orcs, goblins, and hobgoblins. Now, what I'll do here is probably write that Under either special abilities, I'm thinking that's probably the best way to do it. So we will put melee +1 to attack rolls, +1 attack against orcs, looks like orcs, half orcs, little arrow here, goblins, and hobgoblins. Now, when ogres, trolls, ogre mage, giants, titans attack dwarves, these monsters must subtract 4 from their attack rolls because the dwarf's small size. So basically, another perk as I see it. Versus giants, colon -4 enemy attack. Because again, we are shorter than them. Dwarven infravision enables them to see 60 feet, so you have to include that. I'll put little stars here, just for reference. We have infravision. All right, which is 60 feet in the dark, and then dwarves are miners of great skill. While underground, they can detect falling information while within 10 feet of a particular phenomenon, but they can determine the approximate depth below the surface at any time. Interesting. That's definitely quite. I might have to reference this book. I don't know if I'll be able to fill that in all at the same within this one page. You know what? I will. I'm going to pause the video and we're going to compress this a bit and add it to our special abilities. Okay, so what I did was added underground, detect within 10 feet, and these 5 they have to be deliberately doing. They can't just automatically know or assume, have some kind of clairvoyant moment in while underground. They have to be deliberately looking. So detect ground or slope in passage 1 through 5 on a 1d6, new tunnel passage construction 1 through 5 on 1d6, sliding shifting walls or rooms 1 through 4, stone wall traps, pits, deadfalls 1 through 3, and the approximate depth that they are underground 1 through 3 on a 1d6. So that is a great perk, a particular set of skills to have when dungeon crawling. So we're not an elf. Let's move on. I copied all that down per. Now we're just skipping through the others. Okay, so now we're getting to age, the minor details before we finish everything else off. And looks like average height, which we already talked about briefly. Dwarf modifier 1d10 for inches. I didn't bother with that. Weight in pounds. Let's do weight. I'll do 120. 4d10 is the modifier. So let's try 125. Then age, dwarf starting age base 40. We'll do 42. And then obviously I think my character will be a male. All right. Aging effects, we're not going to bother with that. Next is classes. So we have warrior. Below that is fighter, ranger, paladin. This is going to be very interesting. So I think I was originally talking about a fighter, which the minimum is 9 for strength. Haven't done paladin before at all. done Ranger plenty of times. I'm tempted because I just saw Paladin. I forgot it's included, but it is italic. Let's see how that goes. So Warrior, let's keep going. I'm going to assume we're under Fighter for now. Okay. This will be class description Warrior. So it's a D10. That's our hit die, which I don't think we write down anywhere just yet. Level 1, obviously, for that. Oh, you know, I forgot to write down the race in the proper box. I don't know why I wrote it down up here in the corner. I'm sure some of you shouted at the monitor, like, you wrote it in the wrong spot. What are you doing? You filth. So, warrior attacks. I'm going to be a fighter. I'll just be a fighter. Let's do fighter here. We have the strength to do that. That's out of 2000 XP until the next leveling up. I know there's an XP tracker here somewhere. I thought there was. Base honor. Maybe it's on the back side. Let's take a look. Experience, there it is. So out of 2000 until level 2. For level 2. There we go. Okay. Next, let's roll our hit die. HP is right here. I'm going to put our hit die as D10. However, because this is a solo played character, I typically give them an advantage. I would like to roll 2d10 and choose either equal or the advantage. So let's see what happens. 10, 16, I'm going to do 16 for that. So 16 HP. And now, warrior attacks per round. Level 1 through 6, 1 per round. Let's see if that is something we need to write down. Movement. I just want to make sure I have all the boxes covered. Special attacks. Weapon. Doesn't look like I have to write that down. Because if I were to level up past 7, then I would remember that. I'll put that down somewhere. I'm guessing under weapons or special attacks. Okay. The fighter followers. So let's see here. Actually, for now, there. That's paladin. Anything else for fighter I'm missing here? Let's see. When a fighter attains 9 level, the fighters cannot cast magical spells. They can use magical items. As a master weapons, a fighter is only character able to have weapon specialization. Explained in chapter 5. Fighters can have any alignment, good, evil, or lawful, or chaotic neutral. Warrior Hercules parallel. Okay, great. So it looks like I have everything covered. So allowed races all. Strength is the prerequisite. Prime requisite. And okay, we're good. We'll keep skipping through here. There was no tables for the fighters besides the level. Priest, illusionist, classes. Now we're getting to druid, thief, the bard. Okay. Dual class. Ability combination, good, natural, evil. Okay, so now we're on alignment, which is very important. Our alignment's up here. Okay, so we have good, neutral, neutrality, or evil. We can do combinations. I'm thinking for this guy, we'll do one of the combinations to extend beyond the basic three. I think lawful neutral might be true neutral. Characters believe in the ultimate balance of forces. They refuse to see actions as either good or evil, since the majority of people in the world make judgments. True neutral characters are extremely rare. True neutrals do their best to avoid siding with the forces of either good or evil, law or chaos. It is their duty to see that all forces remain in balance and contention. So basically, that is a potential option. Neutral good, leaning towards. My characters typically lean good, so I'm tempted to go between one of these three: lawful neutral, neutral good, or true. These characters believe that a balance of forces is important, but that the concerns of law and chaos do not moderate the need for good. Since the universe is vast and contains many creatures striving for different goals, a determined pursuit of good would not upset the balance. It may even maintain it. If fostering good means supporting organized society, then this is what must be done. If good can only become through the overthrow of existing social order, so be it. Social structure itself has no innate value to them. Okay, I like the neutral good, so I'll write down neutral good. Okay, that's our alignment. Next is more alignment. Okay, proficiencies. All right, so weapon proficiencies, acquiring proficiencies. We have proficiency slots for warrior, 4 initial, number levels 3, penalty -2, non-weapon 3, level 3. Okay, so this stuff is a little beyond me, at the moment at least. I'm thinking, where would this go? I could probably use this when we get a weapon, or I can put it in. Oh, I'm sorry, it's right here in front of me. So we have weapons and proficiency skills. All right, let's do it. So, um, we have warrior. So weapon proficiencies, initial 4. Thereafter, as the characters advance in experience level, they gain additional proficiency slots. The rate at which. Interesting. So it's a little confusing to me at first, but I want to learn while you're watching. Initial weapon proficiencies is the number of weapon proficiency slots received by the characters of that group at first level. Number levels for both weapon and non-weapon proficiencies tells how quickly a character gains additional proficiency slots. A new proficiency slot is gained at every experience level that is evenly divisible by the number listed. So every 3 levels. Wrath, a warrior, for example, gains 1 weapon proficiency slot at every level evenly divisible by 3. He gets 1 new slot at 3rd level, another at 6, so on and so forth. Note that Wraith also guns. And no, okay. Penalty is a modifier to the character's attack rolls when he fights using a weapon he's not proficient with. A dwarf chose to be proficient with the Warhammer. Finding himself in a desperate situation, he snatches up a flail. Even though he knows he little about it, then it's a modifier. Initial non-weapon proficiency is the number of non-weapon proficiency slots the character has at first level, even if you are playing with a weapon proficiencies, non-weapon proficiencies are optional. This would really take this game to the advanced, I believe, beyond what I typically play, like that focus on detail for weapon proficiencies. So every 3 levels, its initial, I have 4, and then see, initial weapon is the one at first level, so I have 4 proficiencies for that weapon. Okay, it took me some time, and if I'm doing this right, I can use up to 4 weapons that I'm proficient with. It doesn't apply any bonus. Every 3 levels I advance, I can get an additional weapon slot to use, plus the original 4, and then so on and so forth. You gain an initial slot. You gain another slot to be able to use it without a penalty of -2. If it's a non-weapon proficiency, then you can have 3, I believe, non-weapon proficiencies. The penalty applies to weapons that my character will use that he's not proficient with a -2, I'm guessing, on the attack roll. So if my character has 4 weapons, a sword, a short sword, long sword, a bow, a dagger, and he's still level 1, and he finds a flail, a mace or something, then that's a -2 on that mace or flail, hypothetically, on the attack roll against that Faco. So on the Faco roll. So that's how I'm kind of seeing this. But what I'm trying to figure out is to translate that to these proficiency skills right here, because this box is the area for this chapter, I believe, moving forward, this chapter and beyond. So I'm guessing this is a universal, box for skills and languages, it says. So trying to figure out how to take that, and I'm thinking that in this next page, it says fighter level, and then melee weapon, light crossbow. So I'm thinking that I can use, these are specialty attacks per round. So my character, does he use 3 melee weapons every 2 rounds? Is that what it's saying? Do I put that here in special attack? So that's the other confusing part, because this table popped up, and the effects of weapons proficiencies is where I had started reading on this next page from here. So it makes sense for these first 4 slots that I'm proficient in that weapon. Or I just remember that I put a 3 here, so every 3 levels. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to house roll it, if I have to house roll it, not waste too much time on it, so this video doesn't go beyond 4 hours, like Titanic. Here's what I'm going to do. Let's move this out of the way. What I'll do is write melee weapon, or just melee. Probably weapon too, just to clarify. It's an actual weapon, not fisticuffs. And then light crossbow, or light bow. Yes, light crossbow. Heavy crossbow. Oops, I was tempted to put crossbow. And then thrown dagger. Then thrown dart. And then other non-bow missiles. So other non-bow missiles. So a nail. But anyways, these numbers next to them is per round. And then I'm seeing, as these numbers advance, as you grow, so melee weapon level 1 through 6 is 3/2. Does that mean 3 uses of a melee weapon? I think I see it now. So 7 through 12 is 2 uses per 1 round. 13 plus is 5 uses per 2 rounds. And you can probably, I'm guessing, distribute those uses amongst the 2 rounds. I believe that's what I'm reading here. So I will write that down. 3, 2, light crossbow is 1 use per 1 round. Heavy crossbow is 1 only once per 2 rounds. Thrown dagger is 3 times per 1 round, which is a lot. Thrown dagger is 4 times per 1 round, and other non-bow missiles is 3 times per 2 rounds. So the other one that makes sense that I have to think about if I write it in here or in the special abilities, because these are special attacks, and I wrote them not in a special attacks box. So I feel like it helps me organize it here better. So what can I put here instead? Okay, so another cut in the video. I made a little more sense about it. I am supposed to put special attacks and special attacks. That makes sense after I was reading the book to have them here to waste it when this is for skills and proficiencies. So I hope I correctly put the special attacks here with melee, light heavy crossbow, thrown dagger, dart, non-bow missiles, etc. with the amount of use per turns. And then I have weapon proficiencies here for every 3 levels, currently at 4, and every 3 levels this number 4 would go up. Same thing with non-weapon proficiencies, currently 3, and then every 3 levels it goes up by 1. So next, it looks like we have skills, which for AD&D 2E, I've never actually used. So this will be a learning curve for me, which it's been so far. But basically, I think the weapon specialization, I think I'm good for now. For example, if a character specializes with a melee weapon, he gains a +1 bonus to all his attack rolls with that weapon. So, and add a +2 bonus to all damage rolls. So as a fighter, I can do that, which is really intriguing. Okay, so further reading on this, as it seems, these slots are in some method a point buying system, as I'm seeing it. So I can spend up to these 4 weapon proficiency points to increase my attack and damage rolls for that weapon specifically, plus strength and dexterity if it's a bow. That's how I'm reading this. Because here it says, when you specialize with a melee weapon, I've read this before, I think, +1 bonus to all his attack rolls and +2 to damage. So the weapons I find out in the wild or the initial ones we start with eventually, I can spend these points here to carry them over and improve that weapon I have listed here from the back. When I will write the weapon down, and then I'll be like, hey, I can put that weapon here in this slot and fill out the details as I go. That's how I see it. That's how I'm interpreting it, whether it's right or wrong. It actually makes sense to me. The non-weapon proficiencies is what I'm going to read next. Okay, non-weapon proficiencies makes sense to me in some manner now. I have up to 3 I can spend to learn these. That's how I'm seeing it. These are non-weapon proficiencies. Basically, if we're talking GURPS, this is basically skills to buy via points. So I have 3 as a fighter, apparently. Fighter level, that's what it says right here. I'm sorry, that's special attacks. Never mind. I have, where was it? This one I'm looking at. Warrior, I can learn 3 skills, and every 3 levels advancing, I can gain an additional skill. This is becoming very fascinating because I love the GURPS game and the whole point buying system in the beginning to create your character. The fact that it's in some variation of it is in 2E, similar variation, is just boggling my mind. So let's see here. We have agriculture. I'm thinking maybe I should move these over to here because these skills will fill up as my character advances. So let me do that. Okay, so I made just a little devoted section here on the special abilities for weapon proficiencies 4 out of 3, and then non-weapon 3 every 3. So again, a lot of shuffling here as I learn, but let's see what we can do for non-weapon proficiencies. General, there's priest, there's warrior. I'm thinking let's focus on warrior first. So we have number of slots required. We have animal lore, armorer, blind fighting, bower, Fletcher, uh, I don't know how to pronounce that. A charioteering, endurance, gaming, hunting, mountaineering, navigation, running, self, set snare, survival. I think survival, which will cost 2. So it says intelligence. That's a modifier of nothing. Relevant ability. Interesting how it has relevant ability, so +2 in dexterity for that roll. I see. Okay, so survival. I'm guessing if I were to house roll it, I'll roll for advantage and choose the highest d20 roll. That's how I'm seeing it. Now, let's do survival, which will cost 2. So I will just write this in here. Survival. Okay. That's going to be 1 away from weapon from this. So we have 1 point left. Let's use I'm thinking probably a general, perhaps. You know what? The armor costs 2. Never mind. Can't use that. So we have a lot of 1s over here. Mining, which that also costs 2. Interesting, as a lot of these are very specific. Blacksmithing, that would be intriguing. Let's do that. So blacksmithing. And that puts us down to nil. Okay, so I'm now gonna read this section here about using non-weapon proficiency. It seems to really depend on the circumstance, but it did say here it could be automatically successful, or the character must perform a proficiency check. So again, depending on if it's a chaotic moment or a under the situation's under control. If it's calm, I might just do automatic success. Depends on the DM, who will be me. So we'll see. Right now we have survival and blacksmithing. Let's go to them on the next page. So blacksmithing, a character of blacksmithing proficiency is capable of making tools and implementing implements from iron. Use of the proficiency requires a forge with coal-fed fire and bellows, as well as a hammer and anvil. The character cannot make armor or most weapons, but can craft crowbars, grappling hooks, horseshoes, nails, hinges, etc. Okay. Next is survival. So it's more so for tools. Oops, did I skip? Nope. Survival, I'm sure it's coming up here in a second. We're almost up to weapons, too. Where is survival at? We have swimming. Tracking, I think I skipped survival, but I'm going to sit here. It's a stone. Running. I don't see survival anywhere. Okay. Oh, here, I'm sorry. Survival. The proficiency must be applied to a specific environment. A special type of terrain and weather factors. Typical environments include Arctic, woodland, deserts, mountain, tropical. Character has basic survival knowledge for the terrain type. A character skilled in survival has a basic knowledge of the hazards he might face in that land. He understands the effects of the weather. Okay, so just surviving. He knows how to find basic, non-necessarily appetizing food, where none is apparent, thus starving off starvation. Furthermore, a character with survival skill can instruct and aid others in similar situations. So basically, the Boy Scouts, essentially. I got the badge for survival, so this makes sense. When using the proficiency to find food or water, the character must roll a proficiency check. If the check has failed, no more attempts can be made that day. Survival skills no way releases the player from the hardships or horrors of being lost. But as I would say, it probably can provide an advantage if we house rule it. Now we're reaching, it looks like, equipment. Okay, so here we go. Warrior, 5d4 times 10 gold pieces to start. So we're gonna flip this over and roll. I don't have five. I don't have 5d4s, but I have 2d4s. We'll roll it 3 more times after this first. I'm sorry, 2.5. Okay, so we have 3, 6, 10, 14. One more. 18. That's 180. Wow. Okay, so we have 180, which I will put uh, in the box here, or over here on the side. 180 to spend. Let's see what we can do. Let's first focus on the weapons. Okay, because we are a fighter, we can use any of these weapons. There's a lot here compared to the other editions. All right, we have battle axe, 5 gold pieces, 1d10 for arquebus. Wow, 500 gold pieces. A blowgun. The battle axe is 1d8. I like that. Well, let's get a battle axe. Okay, that's going to be the weight. If I do track encumbrance, we'll see. But the weight, just for my reference, is 7 pounds. And this is down 5 gold pieces, so 175. Let's do a couple more weapons. We'll do a bow, perhaps. Let's do, because 180 is pretty good. Let's do a short bow. Okay, that will be pretty light, 2 pounds. Okay, so you guys can see my head too. 30 gold pieces, that puts us down to 654, 145. And now let's obviously have a dagger on hand. Oh, I forgot to write down. Oh, we'll get the details here as far as their damage die in a second. We'll do a dagger. I'll write down the damage in the location because I don't use I'm not going to worry about location. 1d8 for battle axe. Short bow is a 1d. Doesn't say. Interesting. Huh. Wonder why it doesn't say what type of damage it does. Well, I'm going to make one up. It says speed factor, type, size, but there is no damage die. That's really interesting. Wonder if that's obviously intended. I'm just not sure. Short bows over here, perhaps. Missile weapon ranges. Armor. I'm seeing if there's like a ranged weapon box. I'm gonna say 1d6. Oh, I see. The arrows you have to buy have the damage assigned to it. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I don't track ammo. I really don't. So I'm gonna do 1d8 with the sheath arrows. That's really neat. 1d8. And then the dagger, I'm guessing 1d4. Yep. 1d4. All right, let's grab one more big weapon. A sword. We'll do let's do a long sword. Oh, the dagger cost us, almost forgot, 2 gold pieces. That puts us down to 143. Okay. The long sword cost us 15 gold pieces. So that one, I think 28, I want to say, if my math is not wrong there. Longsword is going to be weight 4 pounds. I forgot about the dagger, which probably doesn't weigh much at all. 1 pound. That's again, if I track encumbrance, I'm going to decide later. The damage of this is a 1d8. Okay, weapon-wise, that's probably good for now. So now we got to figure out the items. General adventuring gear. Oh, you know what? No, we need armor. Can't forget about that. We have, let's see, splint mail, 80 gold pieces, a shield. I'm gonna definitely do a shield. That will cost us, if it's a body shield, we'll do body. 10 gold pieces, so 118. Now, whoops. Armor type, I'm gonna put shield here. And then on pieces. Let's do a helmet. Oh, the shield will weigh 15 pounds. And then the helmet, bassinet, a bassinet, no, that's not right, will be, let's see, that's going to weigh 5 pounds, 8 gold pieces. Oh, that puts us in an even 110. Good. Okay. Now we need the body armor. We'll do, chainmail weighs about 40 pounds, looks like. 75 gold pieces. Splint mail, studded leather. I'm thinking if we have a helmet, let's do kind of on a middle of the road armor without spending too much more because we have all this adventuring gear we can look through. We definitely need that stuff, plenty of that. So let's add the helmet to the options here, or to the list here. We have helmet. Okay. I'm going to do studded leather. Then we'll fill the values in here in a second. This puts us at 25 pounds. And then that's 20 gold pieces down, so 90. It says see page 75 for the armor class ratings. Okay, 95. Shield only is AC -1. So we'll be at a leather or padded armor plus shield is a 7 AC. So leather plus ring. Looking for helmet. I'm guessing helmet would just be a -1. I'm trying to find that. So helmet, let's see where that's going to be. Don't see helmet anywhere. But this table is useful. So shield only is a 9. We have plate mail plus shield field plate. I'm going to assume it's a -1, like the helmet is. So we had studded leather armor plus shield. That's going to put us at 6. So AC 6, -1 for that. And the shields are included. So I'm going to put a little arrow down there. So basically, we're looking at -1 for that, -1 for that. Leather armor, leather plated, I think. Studded leather, okay. Studded leather. That's an AC of 6. I forgot the shield is included. It's a bundle special. Helmets of -1 just on my own. I'm just going to be doing that anyways. So that puts us at 5. Okay, good. Good. Studded leather armor, which we have with a shield. Excellent. Now we have to buy the items for our adventuring gear. And then, actually, after that, we'll do the weapon details following what we're buying here. Okay, we have 100 and we have 90 gold pieces left. Equipment, clothing. Now, I'm going to assume our character has common clothing, so I'm not going to charge him for that. So common clothing. We'll just put that in here like that. And I just, you guys can see my nose and hair popping every so often. It looks pretty funny up to the angle. Anyways, let's see. We have, sorry, I'm laughing inside. Common clothing would be a robe. There's no weight to it, so it doesn't say. Looking through the list now. Shoes. Okay, daily food and lodging. Ale, cheese city rooms, common wine, honey, meals per day. We need rations. We need adventuring gear. That's what we need. So I think these items are more specific. There's so many to look through. It's incredible. We have a tent. Looks like the list here. Misc is probably what I want to look for. Meals per day. So let's do 7. So meals. We'll do common. It's silver pieces, so we have to convert it. One silver piece equals 1/10 of a silver. Okay, so 10 silver pieces equals 1 gold, I believe. Gold pieces equals let's see, silver piece for 1 is 1/10. I'm gonna say 10 pieces. So I'm buying 3 of them. I'm gonna say 2 gold pieces for 7. Just making that up as we go. So that puts us down at 88 for common. All right, now we need some adventuring gear. We have a light chain. Let's do that. Light chain. The meals don't have any balancing on it. All right, so we have 3 gold pieces for this. That's 765, 85. That will do a weight of 1. Clothes, common, there was 7 gold pieces. Okay, it's 10. The common clothing my character already has. Flint, steel, glass, but grappling hook is usually helpful. We'll keep that one in there. Grappling hook. That puts us at the weight of 4. And now we're down to, let's see, that's 8 gold. I'm going to say 1 gold piece. 84. Iron pot. Lantern. Let's do a hooded lantern. at a weight of 2, and that puts us down 7 gold pieces. So we're at 77. And then a map is half. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just do 1 gold piece on this one. So 76. Okay. And then parchment rope. Let's do hemp rope. Hemp material. That's 20 pounds. Holy mackerel. That's why it weighs a lot. So we'll do 20 pounds. It's 50 feet. That will cost us 1 gold piece. So 75. Okay. Let's see what's left over here off camera. You guys can see it. Ceiling candle. We have a tent, which we might need. Definitely get a tent. Let's do small for 5 gold pieces. That's going to weigh us 10 pounds. So 5 gold pieces puts us down to 70. I'll put the tent small. And then, well, we have a lantern. We definitely need a water skin. Winter blankets. I'm going to add a water skin in here. I don't see that on the misc table, unless I missed it over here on food. Nope. I'm probably missing it somewhere on this list, but I'm going to add water skin for 1 pound and 2 gold pieces. Okay. That's it. I can buy animals too. So, now we have to figure out the weapon details from before. I'm going to list what we have. We have a battle axe. We have the, let's get this over a bit. We have a short bow. We have a dagger and a long sword. All right. Now the number attack roll. Okay, so the number of attacks from a battle axe looks like it's going to be determined by my level because of the proficiency, I'm guessing. So I'm going to skip that just for a moment. Attack bonus, which again, I'm going to skip that. The THAC0. Let's see, the THAC0. We have speed factor, range, size. So the range for battle axe is M, I'm guessing, is medium. Long, melee. Sorry, I'm guessing melee. Let's see. Oh, sorry, that's the size. I'll put that here for that. Push this out of the way. All right. The range of a battle axe is short, small, short, medium, 1d8. So right here, 1d8. Long is 1d8. The same. Okay. The type, not sure what that means, but it says S. I'll put that in. I'm sure some of you will laugh at that. That's fine. I'm still learning as I go. S as in special or proficient. I doubt it. The size, the speed. Speed factor is 7. The weight is 7. Range is already not in here. Now, the Thanko will be determined by, I'm guessing, a different table because I have to include this as my proficient weapon. So, what I'm going to do, these are the 4 weapons I'm going to choose to be proficient in. So that will lower my count to 0. And for melee weapons, which is the 3 out of the 4, the battle axe is a melee weapon, I believe. So we'll do 3 out of 2 every 2 rounds. The attack adjustments, because like I said, it's +1 for the attack roll, and then +2 for the damage, because I'm proficient in it with the starting level. So Thanko would be determined, I believe, later on. We'll get to that in a second. Or we'll get to that later on. The short bow, which is a little different. We'll have to go back a little bit for the weapon proficiencies. Go back here. I will get a bookmark to remember. This is a bookmark. Yep. All right, so the gods. So, go back a little bit more. There we go. Bow and crossbow specialties, or I should say proficiencies. Actually, it is a... That's right. I'm thinking of something completely different. I'm not a specialty just yet. Okay, so I just had to rewind a bit. If I'm doing this right, I'm going to be surprised. I think I'm doing this wrong, but because the weapon proficiencies are different than special attacks, I get the ability. So what I'm going to do is just assign it for each weapon I have. So again, 3 out of 2. It gives us a +1 for attack, and then +2 for damage for the battle axe. Short bow, which is going to be, I'm guessing, a light crossbow. That's 1 use per round. That, for special attacks for range weapons, is only a +2 for the attack roll. Dagger, same thing, melee. That'll be 3 out of 2, +1, and then +2 for that. Longsword, which will be the same, 3 out of 2, a +1, +2. And I want to reiterate that I am aware that I will probably have comments from people who know this game far better than I do, respectively, of course. And you might be correcting me as I go. That's completely fine. And if I do read the comments eventually, and you do mention something like no, you're doing that wrong, fix it, or you're supposed to do it like that, then I might go back and fix the character off camera. That's perfectly fine. I'll accept the criticism and critique. I just want to mention that I'm doing this on the fly right now. So, now we gotta figure out Thanko, however it's pronounced. I'm wondering if that is going to be, oh, you know what? I can't forget, we need to keep going for each weapon. So short bow is going to be over here, I believe. Yep, there it is. So short bow is 2 pounds, which we already got that in the back. Size is medium. And then type, speed factor is 7. That's it. Range, doesn't say. Okay. Damage, of course, we're going to go with the bow. The type, there it is. P. 1d8 for range, for damage for short. Looks like it's the same. Okay. There's the weight. I forgot to put that down, which is 2. Then we have the dagger, which is going to be 1 pound. The size is small. P for type. Speed is going to be 2. 1d4 for close, and 1d3 for far. 1d3. Longsword, which is over here. We have 4 for the weight. Medium for size. S for type. 5 for the speed. 1d8 and 1d8. Oh, sorry, 1d8 for close. Or damage for small, medium. Oh, that's I'm guessing the size of the enemies, if I'm not mistaken. Small, medium, large. 1d12. I believe I've been reading that wrong the entire time. Okay, there we go. Now we'll keep going. So we have the weapons here, equipment descriptions. Not gonna worry about that right now. Character encumbrance. Let's see here. So the character strength determines this. We're at 12. Maximum weight allowed is 45. So 12, yeah, encumbrance up to 45. Light, heavy, we're definitely over that. Oh, I forgot to mention my leftover gold pieces. So I'm at 60. I have 68 gold pieces left. You know what? Weight-wise, I am allowed to carry up to 140, it says. Okay, that's good. I was thinking for some reason it was less than that. So now that I easily don't have 140. Yeah, I definitely don't have more than 140 weights. So we're good there. We're safe. That doesn't encumber us. It will be technically, I do have to add it up, so I will do that off camera here in a second. Okay, so we have 105 pounds, which that puts us in the heavy bracket. We'll figure out movement once we get there. That's how many pounds we have currently carrying. And then now we jump over to equipment, and there is the modified, let's see, movement rate, strength. If we have 105, that puts us at, it's right between 5 and 4, so I'm going to say 5. Put some 5 here. All right. So I guess our base rate is 5. If I'm doing that right. Base move, modify move rate. Our base move, which I need to, oops, sorry about that, camera. My base rate of a strength of 12 is 45. But because we have all that pounds, base move is 45. I believe 6, 110. Okay, I believe I got it right because I know there's 2 rows here depending on your character's initial speed, movement rate. So based on what I found, it's 5. I'm going to go with that because I think it says up here your typical players have up to movement is limited to 10 feet per round. Okay, that makes sense. 5 because we have a little we're a little heavy and it's less. All right, now we need to find. Let's keep going here. Let's see. We have illusions, casting spells, which we don't have any spells. We keep moving here. Combat, calculator, Thaco. That's what we need to do next. The attack row. Conditions. Okay. Weapon type versus armor modifiers. Not going to worry about that just yet. Modifiers. Oh, look at that. Page is bent. Let's see. Attacking on higher grounds. THAC0. Calculating THAC0. We are level 1. So that puts us at a 20 at starting. Okay, that I remembered. Group 1. Warrior 20. THAC0 adjustment. Improvement rate 1 to 1. Okay. So with Warrior, it looks like it's really simple. Group 1, enemy C, a 10 would be a roll of 11. So calculating THAC0 for weapons here. So 20, which is, we need to roll a 19, I believe, for that weapon. Plus 2 would be an 18 THAC0. THAC0. The initial THAC0. And then 19 for these other two. I believe I'm calculating that right because using the strength modifier and the bonuses here per the roll, I basically can just have the THAC0 be the end result. Math included, I believe, again, I believe I'm doing that right. But with math included, I just remembered I have to roll at those numbers, whichever weapon I'm using. So that includes the strength bonus, which I don't have any damage adjustments or hit probability. So with dexterity for short bow, again, I don't have any bonus. So these are it. That's all I get. 19 and an 18 for the bow. No damage adjustment except for the 3 melee weapons we have. And looks like all that's left is everything else. A character name obviously we'll get to in a second, but everything else is past camera record time. We have to figure out the saving throws. So this is combat initiative, which talks about combat. I think saving throws, I'm going to skip that by mistake. Missile weapons. Here we go. Combat saving throws. Okay, excellent. The saving throw for Warrior, levels 1 through 2, we have the save required for paralyzation. That's going to be 14. 16 for rod, staff, and wand. 15 for the petrification. 17 for breathe weapon. And then 17 for spell. Now, like I said, because we're a dwarf, we have these two modifiers on the roll, I'm assuming, when we make these throws. I have to get at or above because they decrease over time. So you want to roll at or greater. So these modifiers will help. And I think we are set. I got proficiencies, I got special abilities, we got the HP, we got AC's set for 5. Everything else is just time and movement. I think we did movement. So base movement rates, human. Oh, you know what? Okay, dwarf is 6. I made a mistake. So yes, yes, yes. That makes sense. Okay, so we have to bounce back here. It's going to be the lower row. So 6 is movement, which means my base rate is 6, but we have to go back a few, my apologies, to the encumbrance section, which was way back here. go. Spells shouldn't have. Can't believe this video's over an hour 20 already. Here we go. Cumbrance. We gotta use the bottom row. The bottle. The bottom row. So basically, our strength is up here. We're between 101 to 109. We have 105. That's right in between. I'm gonna say 2. That reduces us to 2 moves. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, so heavy, we're near. We have. Where's my total weight? I can write it down here. All right. Well, 105. That's fine. That puts us at 2. Okay, the base rate's 6, but 105. Got it. All right. Now we just need a name. I think we're set. Because everything else is spells. Let's close this book. And I was thinking of a name before recording this video already. I'll figure everything else out when if I do assign this character to a campaign or a future one-shot video. I just still need to learn more about this game. But I'm proud of myself for how far I got. But basically I was going to go with Wolf. Because, with an H, W-H-L-F. W-H-W-H-O-L-F. Because I was pondering about bringing back my Lone Wolf series that I never finished, regrettably. More of like a reboot called a Lone Wolf, but the name of the character would be in the title, not the standard way of spelling a wolf. So there you go. This video was quite long. Probably my first time creating a full character for AD&D 2E, but I hope you guys had fun. And again, I'm sorry for any delay or like screw ups. I'm sure I did things wrong, but it was really quite fun. I love making characters, and I feel like I've done everything I could so far without throwing this guy into a campaign or a session. So thanks for watching, as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.